Hi everybody, long time no see. 4 weeks has flown by. In case you're new here, my name is Maggie, and I had a periacetabular osteotomy and hip arthroscopy, which means that I have hip dysplasia, and in order for the socket of my hip to cover the joint, they had to make cuts in my pelvic bone and put some screws in and rotate it so that it fully covers it. And then they also repaired a labrum tear with the hip arthroscopy. So they made 2 little cuts and used a camera to go in and make those repairs, which is really super cool. So now I am already 1 month post-op. What that means is I'm getting more into PT. I am cleared for 25% weight bearing, which is super exciting. And I need to be more diligent with my PT because I have not been doing all my exercises every single day. So I am going to record those for you guys today to show you what that looks like. And right now I am headed to lunch with my grandparents because my Papa is actually having a hip replacement. So hopefully him and I can be each other's accountability buddies, and I will keep you guys updated with how progress has been going later today. I have my roommate from college on the way, but I knew I needed to record this video so that I got it done tonight. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. My mindset going into surgery was really braced for the worst. I expected a lot of nonstop pain, 0 sleep, spending a lot of time in bed, but I've honestly had way more good days than bad days, which doesn't mean it's been easy, but the fear of the unknown was way worse than the reality, which honestly is the case a lot of the time. And it's something that I've been thinking about a lot. Pain-wise, I still get soreness and stiffness, especially in the mornings or after I've done a lot mentally or physically, but it's been more manageable than I was expecting. I've weaned off of all of my super strong meds, and I'm mostly just taking over-the-counter stuff as needed. Tomorrow will be my last day of aspirin. I don't remember how long I have left of naproxen. I think it's just until I don't need it anymore, but that has been nice. I usually take that at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Sleep has kind of been a roller coaster. Like I said, it has been better than I expected, but I'm still figuring out how to get comfortable at night and during naps. But I've definitely had to take it one day at a time because the first couple weeks, probably the first 2.5 weeks, I wasn't able to sleep or lay down or really sit up without a wedge pillow under my knees. So now I can sleep without any pillows, laying completely flat, and at PT2 I'm able to lay on the table flat comfortably, which is, in contrast, a huge leap for me, being that last week in PT, I was still not comfortable laying flat on the table. Mobility-wise, I hit a really big milestone this week. I was cleared for 25% weight bearing. Obviously, I'm still on crutches, but it feels good to take that first step towards being able to walk on my own again. The recommendation was between 4 and 6 weeks, but my PT honestly kind of just said she's very impressed with how I'm progressing, which feels really good to hear, and is keeping me very hopeful. I am going to insert a list of the exercises I'm currently doing and kind of how that's progressed over the last couple weeks because I don't want to get completely into them, but I try to do these 3 times a day, around 10 reps per set, I guess. And like I said earlier, I have not been super on track with that. But I was taking an English course this summer but it was only 4 weeks long, so that ended last week. It gave me a little bit of structure in my day, and so I'm definitely feeling a lack of that right now, and I'm trying to figure out what to do to fill my days. So that's been a struggle for me too. Something I guess I didn't really expect was how hard stillness would feel, even when I do have something on my calendar. These last few mornings, it was just really hard to get out of bed or get out of this chair, just because I felt really mentally heavy, not necessarily because of pain, but because there wasn't really a motivation to get up and do something, even though I could have done my PT exercises, or I could have found a book to read, or I could find something to color, but I'm just learning to hold space for the different emotions each hour of the day, and trying not to let maybe some negative ones define the whole day. Like I said, some of the things that I just talked about a little bit have definitely helped to ground me, even if they're just small daily things. I have officially gotten into crocheting. I got it as a gift. I got this one from my Mimi, which is my dad's mom. And then I got another one, which is a fox, I think, from my aunt and uncle and my cousins. So here's where I'm at right now with the lion. Oh, shoot. But anyways, it gives me something creative to focus on without needing to move around very much, which obviously I'm not able to do. Like I said, I've also been coloring, and I've definitely been binge watching random shows on Netflix and Disney Plus. And I've been trying to do some more journaling lately too, because that is something that really helps me. I got this journal from my Mimi and Papa, who wrote a super sweet note in it about how to focus on the good days and the progress, and not to let the bad days win, even though this journey might be challenging at times. So I've kind of just been keeping track of progress, but I haven't been super consistent, so I want to do some more of that. I also find that PT has been very helpful physically and emotionally. It's just really empowering checking off the exercises and seeing the progress, even though it might feel slow at times. I'm also continuing to go to counseling therapy, which I have 2 different therapists, one that helps me with my anxiety and emotional regulation, and my relationship dynamics, and the other one I've been focusing on chronic pain management, my identity shifts, and sports recovery. So that will be really nice once I am able to start getting back in the ice in the spring. But I think that most importantly, my faith has been a huge anchor. Stillness can be really hard, but I think I have viewed it as an opportunity to slow down and try and build a deeper connection with God in my faith. And I'm learning to try not to root my identity in producing and performing, or rushing to heal, but just rooting my identity in my faith and what kind of an impact I can have on those around me, especially outside of athletics. So as far as impacting others goes, I think one of the most important pieces of advice that I was given was to reach out to people early in recovery and make plans, because, I mean, I've even experienced it myself. When people are sick or injured, you don't want to crowd their space, and you don't know if they're ready for company unless you hear from them, which is really hard because recoveries like this can be really isolating. So it's really important to reach out to friends and loved ones and make plans with them. That's been really important to me, is spending time with people, even if I am at home, just seeing people or getting out a few times a week, even though it can be kind of exhausting. So there's a balance, right, between being social and keeping that engaged, but also giving yourself time to heal properly. So something that I am looking forward to over the next couple of weeks is continuing to make plans, going out for lunch. The more energy I gain, the more I enjoy going out. Obviously, I can't drive until hopefully that 6-week mark, but even just calls with the people you love. I've really enjoyed FaceTiming friends and family. So if you're in recovery, I encourage you to do the same. Even though it can be hard to initiate that sometimes, it is really important. So, also, I hopefully next week will be starting some blood flow restriction training so that I'm able to kind of strengthen the muscles in my leg without doing heavy lifting, because obviously you can't. And then hopefully I will also start pool therapy now that my incisions are fully healed over and no more scabs. But those are my big next steps in my recovery journey. So, if you're watching this and you're in your own healing season, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, don't feel like you're falling behind. Just take everything one day at a time. Progress doesn't have to look dramatic to be meaningful. And hard moments or things that feel like setbacks do not erase all the progress that you've made, all of the good days that you've had. So let yourself be where you are today. Ask for help, let people in. Remember that if it doesn't all go according to plan, it's okay. I'll be back with more updates, potentially a day in the life or a PT vlog next. Let me know in the comments what you want to see. Thanks for following along in my journey. I am sending you all love and strength in whatever stage or season of life that you're in right now as well. So, see you next time.